Your country 1039 KGRT, Taylor Swift, of course. And, old school Taylor Swift just makes me happy. Don't know why.
Time now for your question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Markets of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, bread, meat, honey, food trucks, handmade art, music, and more. Every Saturday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Las Cruces.
That's right. It's time for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. And, I talked a little bit earlier this morning about the generational gap that is there. I mean, we used to talk about it between the boomers and the Gen Xers like myself. And now that we've got the Gen Zers out there, I know I skipped a few, there's a lot of things that are different. Yeah, different. That's all I can say about that, including how we talk and a few of the slang terms that we use or used to use. I'll put it that way right there, right? I think this morning I was even looking up something because somebody sent a text message in with just a bunch of letters, and I had to figure out what that meant. And so far as I can tell, it still doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Random letters. Could have been something else. But there are a lot of slang words that we of the older generation used to use, but maybe we don't use them as often as we used to. And someone posed this question to Reddit: what outdated slang words or terms do you still use often? Yeah, terms like stoked or sick or sweet. Yeah, I think I've used all of those at some time or another. Or awesome, or rock and roll, or even the word cool. Is it even cool to use the word cool anymore? I don't know. But my question for you today is basically the same thing. What outdated slang words or terms do you still use often? For a while I tried to bring nifty back, and that didn't work out too well, but I did use that a lot. So I do think I use awesome probably a lot more than I think I do. And there are some other words that will not be mentioned due to FCC rules and regulations. But what about you? What outdated slang words or terms do you still use pretty often in your day-to-day life? And do you ever have the younger generation just kind of look at you? I know the younger generation is used to saying something, and then all the older folks go like, what? Can I get a translation, please? Yeah, that happens a lot. But what about the other way? Do you ever use a slang word or term that the youngsters just don't get? I think that would be pretty cool. Let me know your answers, though, for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. You can call those in. You can text those in. You can also leave your comments on our social media pages, because we are live on our Facebook and YouTube pages. So you can leave a comment there as well, and even do a little extra exclusively online here in a bit. But my question for you today: what outdated slang words or terms do you still use often? That is our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. All right. All goods on radio, and now we are exclusively up on our social media pages. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing when you get to generations. All right. I've already got a text message like bitchin', groovy, or far out. I did go through a bitchin' phase for a while. Actually, that didn't sound right, did it? Oh, thank goodness it's only on the internet. But yeah, those are some good terms right there. You know what? There's a term that I use all the time that people kept asking me about, because apparently as an old school musician, I am still one of the few people that use the word gig, as in a job. Hey, we've got a gig down here, or, I'm really happy with the gig I have right now. It's a pretty cool gig. I use that one a whole lot. And sometimes I will get people looking at me that go, what? Even some of the people that are my own age, that'll happen. So, yeah, I think that's probably the one that I use a lot, that I get a lot of weird looks on. But what about you? What outdated, I'll put that in my quotation marks, right? What outdated slang words or terms do you still use pretty often? Let me know your answers. Once again, call those in, text those in, or just leave your comments down below, and we'll get to those. I love looking through those throughout the day. the meantime, let us go ahead and take a look at what's going on in and around the world. Let's see. Extra says that Demi Moore has been named the world's most beautiful female by People magazine. I haven't seen her lately, but I'm not going to deny it. Let's see. News International says Tom Hardy is returning for Mad Max The Wasteland. No word on a plot yet. Pretty self-explanatory for Mad Max world, I think, though. Let's also see. Here's a little flashback. Tiger King's Joe Exotic, remember? He has married fellow inmate Jorge Marquez. This is his 6th marriage. Okay. And let's see. A Dubai chocolate continues to trend as people pay upwards of $20 for this viral candy bar. The website says scammers are now selling fake Dubai chocolate bars, which are not made in Dubai. Go figure. I didn't even realize that was a thing. So I think I just need to pay attention more. And let's see what else is going on. Not much. Not much else going on these days. But we are looking for your answers for our question of the day. Pretty simply, what outdated slang words or terms do you still use often? Got a text message that said bitchin', groovy, or even far out are terms that he still uses. What about other terms like peace? Actually, I do get that one every once in a while. Or rad, as in radical. Or word, for all my 90s kids out there, word, right? There's a whole bunch of them like there. Like I said, I use the word gig to refer to as a job that you have, your gig, you know. So what's your gig? I don't know. What do you work? I use that one a lot, and I every once in a while. But what about you? What outdated slang words or terms do you still use fairly often? Yeah, let me know your answers. Call them in, text them in, or just leave your comments down below for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces.